Hey, how we doing? Just wanted to let everybody know that we are excited. Today is Saturday, and it's that time again. We are getting together. You are in for a great show. I want to let you guys know that we are extremely excited to see you. But before we get started, I wanted to address a few things that had been brought to our attention. One, first and foremost, this podcast has never once, ever, and will it ever advocate for suicide. Never once. And also, with that being said, you do have to realize there's three different personalities within the panel. We may or may not agree, and you may not agree yourself. But if that is the case, you are able to bring that to us, and we will discuss that and move forward as we see fit. But also just know that even though that we are, a different number of personalities that are on the panel, we do come together as a unified front, that is a part of the podcast. And one thing that I do want to share, with you all that are watching is, if there is a complaint or something that does need to be talked about, you would meet with us. We would discuss it, and then we would decide to move forward. But definitely know that your points and your uh, the things that you feel that need to be said, they're going to need to be defended, on from your behalf. So, you know, come come ready to for that. Uh, but also, with that being said, as well, uh, this podcast not for everybody, and if it's not, I would definitely encourage you to hit the scroll button if you feel like this podcast is not for you. If it is, that's great. We love to see you, and let's what most or but most importantly, let's get the show on the road. Desert, take it away.
What's up, guys? Yes, as Tuva said, I actually advocate for the opposite. I would much rather sit and listen to you talk about all your problems than, as bad as it sounds, listen to a 5 minute eulogy. I'm sorry, but I've never been one that was okay with any of that. So, um, I just realized actually on the live it makes it look like I'm looking away from Tuvets, which is really weird. It's mirrored effect. Um, but tonight's live is actually about goals and boundaries, which actually stems off of the third episode we have, which is, I guess, where supposedly it felt to someone that we were advocating for quitting and ending their lives. Now, if you are feeling some sort of way, I would like to urge you to please reach out, get help, dial 988. It's free. I mean, and I know people that actually work for them. You are talking to if you're texting real people, you're talking to real people. Um, but yeah, I would never in my life advocate for someone ending themselves because as not only a personal trainer and a mindset coach, there's always the other option, and I'm aware of that. My job is to keep you from that other option. My job is to get you to want to complete your goals. Now, my buddy, who we all know and love, especially on the podcast, a good friend of mine, um, he said something that actually is amazing. And he says, remember that most people hear what they want to hear. You know, if that's the message they want to hear, it doesn't matter if you are reading the ingredients list on the back of a shampoo bottle. That's what they're going to hear. They're going to hear what they want to hear, and I'm okay with that. You know, so like I said, tonight's podcast is actually about goals and boundaries, boundaries and goals. Sorry. As you guys know, my chair's kind of screwed up. Still haven't got a new one. That's okay. Now, with that said, I'm going to stem off of what I did say on the third podcast, which was our New Year's resolution podcast. What I stated that if you're not wanting it just as much as you want to breathe, then you might as well give up on it. And I was meeting that goal because that goal is not very important to you if that's the case. Goals are great. They're great to have, but you got to also understand, are these realistic goals or are these unrealistic goals? You know, if they're unrealistic goals and you know you're never going to make them. I have an unrealistic goal. I really do. But my unrealistic goal is actually at the same time a realistic goal. And I think I've spoke about it many times. I will, never obtain my goal, or at least never see my goal be obtained, ever. The reason why is because my goal is not for me. It is for my generations. I want to break the cycle of poverty in my lifetime for my children, their children, and their children, which is why I teach my children about investing. I teach my children about, working your ass off, being the hardest fucking worker in the room, not giving up, and not allowing peer pressure to steer you from your goals. Now, with that said, I'm going to bring an old high school friend of mine up. Been a friend for a long time. She's an amazing hairstylist. She had a goal at the beginning of the year, and she conquered it. Cassie, welcome in, one of my best friends.
Hi, guys.
Oh, real quick, before we start, I do also would like to say thank you to Alti Sups, which I will throw up their banner right here. They actually sent me out a package. This is my new cup, and it is freaking awesome, along with a whole thing of Alti Hydration raspberry lemonade. My favorite, by the way. If you guys don't know who they are, check it out, altisups.com. Use code RATPACK. I think it's 10 or 15%. I can't remember exactly how much, but check them out. Go to altisubs.com. Use code RADPACK as a discount. Actually, if you use Ultimate 30, I believe you get 30% off a tub. So, with that said, Cassie, quick question.
Shoot.
Let's hear about what your goal was.
So, as you said, I'm a hairstylist. I've been in the industry forever. My mom owned a hair salon. I worked in her hair salon as, sweeping hair and cleaning perm rods.
I remember that.
I went to school at the Salon Professional Academy a million years ago. I've been a manager. I've been a owner. I've been an assistant manager. I've been just a stylist. I've been a barber. I have a license in 4 different states. My goal was ultimately to become an educator for hair. Mm-hmm. And I got to do it. I actually got hired on as an educator for Full Circle for the Salon Professionals in Wisconsin. And honestly, it's mind-blowing because I didn't think I was ever going to be able to do an educator position without working behind the chair.
Right. So a lot of my friends know, and which you knew way back when we were young, we were kids in school. My goal and my dream was to be able to inspire people and motivate people. It's always been my dream. Okay. You also know my other dream is to own my own business and make sure that I can pass it down to future generations. I did not, how do I put this? The reason I say you got to want something as much as you want to breathe is because I did not ever actually realize what that meant. I've always been the hardest worker I've ever met. I've always tried to outwork anyone I could. But I never understood what it meant to work hard, to want something as much as you want to breathe. In other words, work hard, as hard as you can for whatever, right? Never understood what that meant. It wasn't until, I started realizing that all my friends were passing me by on doing their goals and doing their dreams and all that, that I realized, wait a minute, what are they doing that I'm not? And it's the simple fact that, one, I didn't put boundaries on myself. Let's take over for a sec, please.
Absolutely. Just to pick up where he left off was, you know, wanting something, more than you want to breathe. Eric Thomas, talks about, the story of the guru and how to become successful, and you got to want it more than you want to breathe. One is to show the severity of, the importance of how bad do you want it? How bad do you need it? What are you willing to do to get that to be successful? We can tell you all day, you know, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. But, but if I tell you, hey, an asthmatic, is having a asthma attack, what is it that they want to do at the end of the day, while they're going through that asthma attack? They want to fucking breathe. That's exactly what we're talking about.
Well, ultimately, it comes down to what success looks like to you. It's my success isn't your success, Two Bets.
Exactly.
You don't want to be an educator in hair,
No, he wants to be an educator in dogs.
Which I am.
you are
Good at.
You are very
And
good
he's
at
also,
that.
I believe he's also an educator at his school. He just got something doing with the guitar. But now here's my question for everyone here. Okay. And this is a question I would really seriously, I challenge my viewers, the viewers of the show, to think about. What boundaries have you set in place, not only for yourself, but your friends, your loved ones? Maybe you have a spouse. What boundaries have you set there to ensure your success? Like, what are you willing to put up with in order to make sure you're successful?
I can answer that one.
Go ahead.
I literally risked everything. So the state that I live in currently doesn't require schooling for educators. Literally, you can go to school and for hair to be behind the chair as a hairstylist or a barber and turn around and go right back into being an educator without any real world experience. I didn't want that for me. I wanted to be able to say, okay, I went to school for this. I know what I'm doing. So I actually moved to Alabama. And Nick, you remember when I called you and I was like, hey, guess where I'm at? I'm standing on the beach.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because I wanted that under my belt to say, hey, I went to school. I got the hours in to be an educator. And not only that, I have the knowledge behind the chair to deal with the everyday clients. So I can bring that to my students. I literally risked everything. I packed up my baby SUV and drove all the way down to Alabama. And when I was done with school, I drove all the way back to Wisconsin.
So I do remember that, actually. I remember that very well. One of the other things, and this is just to prove my point, this I'd been working for a very long time. This is what I wanted to do.
I'm so proud of you on that. That is amazing.
But here's the thing, and I'm going to say this. It literally didn't take me any time to actually get the certification. What it was and where it was at was all up here. You see, you're going to fight with your mind more than you're going to fight with anyone else, okay? Your boundaries have to start here. They have to start with you before they can start with anyone else. Your boundaries on your goals have to start with you, right? Okay. Now let's go into a different situation. Okay. We're going to go 13 years ago, which who I'm getting ready to bring up, Cassie, because you met her and you were the first one told me I need to get rid of her. My ex-wife. Okay.
She was a ball of crazy.
How many times do you remember me trying to get something done, but I gave up on it? Why? I didn't want to lose.
Because you didn't want to fight. You didn't want to argue. You didn't want to deal with the aftermath that was, well, ultimately your ex-wife.
I dealt with the abuse. I dealt with cheating. I dealt with it all. for my
And then
kids.
on top of it, you were still the breadwinner for your household. You had to make sure your kids were taken care of, so you couldn't put yourself first.
But what I'm getting at is I didn't set boundaries then on my life and where I wanted to be. Rat pleaded the fifth on that one. Well done, bro. I love you, Wyatt. For those of you guys that don't know, that's my brother Wyatt. Amazing artist, which I normally show his artwork on here. I screwed up the last time, so I'm kind of afraid to show it. If you guys don't know, go check him out on TikTok. Mohawk Creations on TikTok. Beautiful woodworker. I'm actually going to see if I could try to do this while being able to stay on Facebook over here. I can do it. I can do it. This is his newest artwork I'd like to show. Share screen. There it is. It's his newest artwork, Marilyn Monroe. Beautiful work there.
Oh, wow.
Amazing work. Yeah. Yeah, you ought to see the video. Okay, the video he has of this is beautiful. That's the White Rabbit, of course.
Heck yeah.
Clockwork Orange. If you don't know what that is, it is based off a movie from the 1970s, but it's definitely a weird one. And of course, the King, Elvis Presley. So if you guys get a chance, go over and check out Wyatt Mohawk on Facebook and get yourself some Mohawk.
I bet you we could get you a toupee and everything, and we could get you set up looking like Elvis, two vets.
Well,
hey, grab your guitar and shake it like Elvis. Don't. I used to like Elvis Presley because my grandpa used to listen to it all the time. It was great.
You know, playing Elvis is actually pretty fun. Like playing Jailhouse Rock. I love that song.
Well, I see you got the lip curl to go with it. Do you got the hip motions? Because, that's got to sell it. No, Nick. Oh, dear God. Oh, no.
I don't dance. Listen, there's an old saying, white men don't jump. This man doesn't dance.
Well, I didn't think that I danced in one of my TikTok videos.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I flat out danced.
Y'all
I'm going to have to
check out
stalk your TikTok just to see that.
Oh yeah, go dude, there's one where he gets shocked too. I used to have it on my Twitch when I was doing Twitch streaming, where when he was training a dog, he got shocked like his shit. But guess what? This summer I get to get shocked, so I'm buying a remote trainer from Two Vets, and I got to go through this shock therapy, so I know what my dog's gonna feel like. Guy, what guy?
I'm gonna make him ride the lightning.
That
Can I
doesn't
get a
sound
video
right.
of that?
Do
I need
me
Christmas
a
money.
favor. This is how you know this man is ADHD. Yes, this is how you know I'm ADHD. Thank you, Gabby. My little girl, guys. If you guys don't know who she is, that's my daughter. Anyways, James, mother, come on over to onto YouTube, man. I didn't even notice you even messaged over there on Facebook. So for those of you guys that are on Facebook, I will Facebook. Those of you guys that are currently on Facebook, I'll send you the YouTube channel. Give me 1 second and let me try to get this done. This is not easy. This is why I need someone on the outside going into the.
I think I have a candidate that I could recommend for that if they would be willing.
Yeah. I don't know who that is. All right. Y'all come on over here. I don't think that link's going to show up, is it? There it is. Yeah, there you go. All right, yeah, come on over to YouTube. Check it out. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. It'll help us out, help us grow. Don't forget to follow along. Also, go to Two Vets K9's channel. Help him grow. Cassie, do you have a YouTube channel that you actually make
I don't
on?
stream on YouTube. I just go on to watch you guys.
Look, I'm just going to say this. You are a hairstylist that doesn't make videos of you styling hair. I want you to think about that.
Yeah, I don't stand behind the chair anymore. I'm an educator.
Thank God I'm actually not the butt of the joke anymore.
But I would say go check out Mohawk Wyatt's YouTube as well. He's actually pretty funny over there. Look, I didn't even realize. Okay, so I've been friends with Wyatt for a long time. Okay, I knew about his TikTok. His TikToks are amazing. I love them. I just found out just from looking through my all my stuff that he actually has a YouTube channel that actually has a lot of content on it. Really good content too. You got to check him out too, guys.
Definitely.
But yeah, once again, guys, let's get back to the subject. My bad.
Squirrel.
Right. Dude, I just drove that train straight off a cliff and then jumped back on somehow. Anyways, so some of the boundaries that I also want to talk about is, okay, not necessarily goals, because some people's goals do have to do with marriage. They have to do with stuff like that. So if your goals are in marriage, what boundaries are you willing to, kind of bend a little on? But what boundaries do you have set that you cannot bend at all?
So are you talking like hard lines versus soft lines?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going to tolerate anybody cheating on me. I don't care if they're male or female. It's just not going to happen. And then...
Whoa.
Been there, done that.
I'm going to leave that there. Okay. I've been cheated on many times. I've been, as you know. So I will say this. I'm a firm believer in allowing 3 chances. Okay. You have 3 chances to fuck up with me. Okay. And I say 3 chances to fuck up. There's a reason I say that. Okay. 1, cheating. Once you cheat, that's it. You get one more chance. That's it. I will never give you a 3rd chance on that because I'm not going to look like a dumbass again. Okay. What determines cheating? There are levels. Yeah, exactly. I completely agree. There are levels. I'm sorry, but just friendly flirting at work, I don't believe in that. I don't believe that's cheating. I really don't. I mean, some people do. I don't. I don't believe Gabby's in here, so I got to be very careful with this. I don't believe on looking on the internet.
I think that goes into ethics.
Exactly.
Where some people sending text messages back and forth and having a conversation that's a significant other or spouse is unaware of, that is taking away from that relationship, that would be considered, cheating.
Mm-hmm.
Or, on the opposite end of that, outright going physically outside of the relationship. It's finding that boundary. Where do you stand? Does that make sense?
What are you willing to tolerate?
Bingo.
Well, I'm also a firm believer that, okay, so me and so-and-so's dating, right? And I'm having issues, okay? Cassie's my best friend. I go to Cassie for advice and all that, and we start talking and all that, and you should never. How do I put this? I don't believe you should go to, like me as a man. I should not go to Cassie for advice on my relationship or to vent to on my relationship, right? Because 1, that is the opposite sex, right? Who do you believe you should be confiding in? Honestly,
the person you're in the relationship with.
Thank you. Now,
because how are they supposed to know if you don't say anything?
Bingo.
They're not mind readers.
The definition of what constitutes cheating, firmly established, no matter what they say. Facts right there. Thank you. Are you okay with me putting that up on screen? I want to make sure, bud, because this guy, I swear to God, I'm going to get him on the podcast. I promise you, he will be a permanent host on here one day. I know it. Like some of the things that he talks about is just, boom, spot on. And I love it. I love what he says. Okay. Because honestly, this man's probably one of the smartest 11 Bravos I've ever met.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing. uh, Every other branch, every other MOS doesn't understand that MOS is a thinking man's game. We
Well,
ain't, we
I
ain't
know, bro. I
crayon
know.
eaters.
Look, crayon eaters are not thinking at all. Okay, I'm sorry.
Mick
See,
Mouse.
even my daughter says for real. They don't think.
Mick
Let me,
Mouse.
let
That's
me help
because
you out.
they're
Let me
trained
help
to
you out.
do
Let
one,
me help you
maybe
out.
two
Let me help you
things.
out. Let me
You
help you
do
out. Rah,
remember
rah,
your
rah,
brother
rah,
is a
rah.
Marine.
I'm trying to find my crayon so I can actually get you to stop talking. See the pretty blue crayon?
Again, when the United States government wants to win a battle, they will send in the Marines.
Well, yeah. They're too dumb to stay down.
They're called devil dogs for a reason. Did you
Exactly.
know they actually got investigated for too many headshots?
Yeah.
I was like, what?
That's a fact. Infantry. But anyways, yeah, you're right. Did you know Australia lost a war to a bird?
No, not at all.
Really? I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to look that up. That's
Yep.
interesting.
An emu. Yep.
I
Australia lost
I
their
knew you
war to
couldn't
the
trust
emus.
the emus. Emus.
Yes, Josh. Yes, National Guard goes in first. And I agree, Josh. Most women do expect us to be mind readers. Matter of fact, the majority of women expect us to be mind readers. But the same sense goes, what do you want for dinner? I don't know.
That's where I have to chime in. First off, we spend every single day making decisions. The least you guys could do is give us some form of communication. Say something like, I don't know, maybe a hamburger, and we'll
Did you
build off
know?
of it.
Okay, I'm going to tell you right now. Men are also the only creature on the planet, the only out of the two of us that can actually shut their brains off and truly not think about anything. Did you know that?
Women can't do that. Hence
Men
the reason
can.
why we want you guys to have some sort of input of what we're making for dinner.
So I actually
Hey,
Chicken nuggets.
You give me the address of where that is, Josh, and I'll be there.
So this is where I have to disagree. Because for a guy like me, I'll get asked that question, what do you want for dinner tonight? I don't know. I don't care. That could be my way of saying whatever you would
Give me
like
1
to,
second.
whatever it is that you would like to fix, or what you're in the mood for, I'm okay with.
See, but we've made decisions all day. How we're going to do laundry, how the dishes are going to get done, who's taking the kids where. We want to make sure that you guys are happy with what we're doing, what we're making.
Right.
I don't know how many times I've made dinner for my significant other and it's been, oh, you made that? Oh, you didn't give me anything to go off of.
Right.
So it's frustrating from a woman's standpoint to have that. But
Well,
again,
so
on the other side of the spectrum, I know you guys deal with a lot at work. So being able to shut your brains off and not have those, lack of a better term, mundane conversations.
When a man says I'm hungry, it means I'm hungry. When a man says he doesn't care, it means he doesn't care. When a woman says I'm hungry, it means much more than I'm hungry.
It means we want to have a conversation with you. We've missed you.
You realize when a man gets home from work, he doesn't want to talk. He wants to sit there and just completely shut his brain off and not have to make a decision, not have to think for 5 minutes. Most men in 5 minutes is all they need, and they can reset themselves.
Well, see, here's the thing.
Unless you're two bits.
And at least for me, what I've done in my past, I've been told when to wake up, what to eat, what to wear, all the growing up as a kid, type of things. So, as far as dinner, dinner things, I mean, I'll ask like, "What's your ideas for dinner?" It's like, "Oh, well, I want to make this. I want, or I don't know what I want to make." It's like, "What would you like?" I'm okay
So
with anything that you would like to make,
here's
sweetie.
what
And
here's where I was getting at, by the way.
I ain't
Well,
finished.
we're like way the hell off in left field right now.
Well,
I
ultimately, it
ain't,
comes down to conversation,
Yeah.
communication.
but I'm also used to being told what to eat. So it's not necessarily you telling me what to eat, but it's one of those. It's a lot better than what I've
Look,
eaten in the past.
after basic training, we're not told what to eat. We're given a bag if you're out in the field. Otherwise,
Right?
we're not told what to eat. We eat whatever. But I'm gonna say this. Part of those boundaries are you need to be able to fluently communicate them. But
Absolutely.
at the same time, those people or the ones you're communicating with need to understand it, be able to understand it. So, in other words, if you're not communicating properly to where they can understand it, you can't expect them to understand it. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Absolutely. Squirrel, he's
Le-
gone.
Yep. Leave it to Desert. Yep.
But yeah, ultimately, it comes down to if you have that conversation with that your significant other, or said person, of really don't care what we have for dinner. It's ultimately her or him saying, "Hey, I just want to spend 5 minutes with you." But having that conversation of, I need that 5 minutes of reset, having that boundary. Without that, we don't know. What did it say?
Nothing. Never mind. Fuck him all. I can't with you, bro.
I'm gonna plead the fifth, and anybody that wants to see that
We
comment,
can tell that you're
go
married.
what?
Who? Him? Yeah.
Two vets.
Look, I am gonna say this. If you have someone that loves you, and I mean fucking loves you and is willing to go through hell for you, and you betray them by cheating on them after they told you what they went through in life, after they told you how it makes them feel when you do that, you don't deserve the love from that person. Now, one exception I do believe to that rule. Long distance relationships are one of the hardest fucking relationships there is. In fact, I believe they have maybe a 10% chance of actually making it work. So, mistakes are going to happen. You're going to need someone to confide in when, your significant other is not close by. I get that. But my biggest issue with that is if you are confiding in another person that is of the opposite sex, you're probably going to wind up cheating and you probably shouldn't be doing it.
That's where I have to say excuses.
So
there is a way to communicate with your significant other. We have texting, we have video chat. 9 times out of 10, they're a phone call away. Email.
Yeah, nothing beats a hug.
Snail mail.
Nothing beats a hug.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what I'm getting at. Now, what I'm going to get at with this, if it feels like it's wrong or if you wouldn't like it done to you, don't fucking do it to them.
Absolutely.
I am a firm believer in that, and I will always say it. If you would not want it done to you, why the fuck are you willing to do it to them? Now, so I hope just that one little piece of advice actually helps people, because I'm going to tell you right now. And once again, I am going to get on the topic of suicide prevention. Sorry, YouTube, but it's something I do. Do you know why men make up 80% of the unaliving rates? Men are 50% of the population, but we make up 80% of the unaliving rates.
Well, who do you guys have to talk to?
Ourselves. It's because we feel like failures. It's because when we are cheated on, we feel like it's our fault. We did something wrong. When we when we have a divorce, it's our fault. We did something wrong. Whenever we lose a job, it's our fault. We did something wrong. We take things so personally that literally fucks with our head. It makes us insecure. It breaks down it breaks everything down. Matter of fact, in my opinion, I believe it ages men because of the stress we are put under during those instances. Now, if your spouse decides because you lose a job that they're going to treat you like trash, that's not a spouse. That is a very toxic person, and you probably should get away from it. Take it from someone that knows. Trust me. Whoa. My video just froze.
I see that.
That was weird. Give me 1 second.
Here we go. Well, almost.
Yet again.
Hi. But he's absolutely right. If
100%.
Having that open line of communication. It broken. Is big broken.
It's big broken.
Having that open line of communication with somebody will make a huge difference. Who do you talk to, Two Vets?
Well, I talk to my wife.
And does she understand, or do you help her understand?
Both.
Because I know personally, there are times that I sit down and talk to my significant other. I can't even remotely comprehend what he's going through, but he's a combat veteran.
Right.
So I can be there. I got broad shoulders. I can listen, but I don't know his feelings.
So we, when her and I, so we've known each other before. We've known each other before we started dating, and then we ended up going our separate ways just due to life, experiences. And then I ended up going through a divorce. She was separated from her ex-husband, and which in turn she ended up going through a divorce as well. And I mean, realistically, I had been. It was that October we connected, that March, and so I was in the heat of the battle of my mental health, and I just sat her down and said, "Look, I care for you. I didn't necessarily say I love you yet, but that, and it was like a week that we'd been, seeing each other." But I looked at her dead in the eye and said, I have baggage from my past relationship. You have some things, that are going on that, there are some things that have gone on in your past as well. And I think if we want to make this work, we need to sit down and have that help.
And now, was that before you guys started dating, or during your dating?
That was during, while we were dating, and we were given communication tools that we still use to this very day, and that we will still continue to use. And I think if it hadn't have been for that, we very easily, would not be together.
And would you say that ultimately comes down to the communication on the boundaries and the goals that you set for your relationship?
Absolutely.
Now, you said you had tools in communication. Was that something that you picked up during your mental health crisis, or just throughout your years of experience being in a relationship or dealing with other people?
Ask the question again.
Your communication tools. Is that something that you picked up during your mental health crisis? Or is it something that you picked up throughout your years of experience in relationships?
I would say both. It would be more prevalent going through my mental health journey, because at that point there was that disconnect, but also, being as old as I was and learning to communicate not only in, relationship issue, or not only in relationships, but just, working relationships and, platonic, friendships, learning how to communicate, from that standpoint. But, especially in, you know, relationship, you know, uh, or marital relationships, learning to communicate, that way as well. That was definitely on the forefront, because ultimately not being able to communicate, you know,
That's where a lot of bad things happen,
exactly.
a lot of hurt feelings. And I think being able to sit down and have that conversation and really be able to understand your partner and not just think about what you're going to say as a response to your partner. Actually think about what they're saying and understand where they're coming from makes a huge difference. And that's probably why you and your wife are so strong right now.
Well,
And
you know, I, I'm going to say this, as serious as I can, but it's also, to lighten the mood a little bit. There's actually what they call a safe word.
mhm.
Yes, you heard that. A safe word. You
Is it
know,
pineapple?
uh, we'll go with that. you know,
Taco.
and that too.
Taco.
But in actuality, there, there there's two categories, of the safe word. There's the traditional, what we're used to, hey, my safe word's pineapple, but also at the same time, when dealing with, from a relationship standpoint, if you're having triggers, if you're having, times that it's like, I don't understand this, I need some time to distance it, process it, give me a minute, so I don't say something stupid.
Mhm.
You as the individual could say, hey, safe word, pineapple. Give me that little bit of distance, and then whenever I'm ready, I go and uh, I go have that conversation whenever I'm ready. You doing the same thing to me? I know. Okay, back off. You'll come. Excuse me. You'll come to me when you're ready. You know, but I can also use it another way as well. I know that you're overstimulated about, or I know my partner is overstimulated about something. I'm with it enough and go, hey, I'm going to call a pineapple real quick. That's me telling my partner, hey, you come to me when you're ready. Then we'll talk.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah, well, still being able to have that conversation and understand and
Exactly.
knowing your partner, whether it's business or romantically, makes a
Right.
huge difference.
But it also depends.
Communication is key. Boundaries.
Absolutely. And I mean, I hate to say this, and, especially with what I do, uh, but it also goes into, you got to be able to trust the other person. And
Absolutely.
without
Really, really.
trust, you'll never have that respect for each other. But without trust and respect, you'll never be loyal to keep that marriage safe. And I
Real
hate to
quick,
say that.
I do want to apologize for the malfunction that we were having. For some reason, my camera just completely shorted out. I actually had to move this over to my phone. So, you guys, I do apologize. But I do have to say it's 9:45, so we are going to have to cut this short soon because I need to figure out what's going on with this so we can keep continuing to do these podcasts because I have a feeling my computer is getting ready to crash, and once it crashes, the live's done. Not for good, just
until you get it fixed.
For tonight, it'll be done. Then we'll figure out, what the next step is.
and I'm gonna say this. Y'all think my ADHD is bad when I'm on the when I'm just doing the podcast from my computer. I want you to see exactly what I'm seeing right now. Like I'm looking.
You think it's bad on on the podcast? Try talking to him.
You should try doing breaks with him.
Breaks.
That's how we met. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you are old.
I'm still looking up at the screen like I'm like, what are you talking about?
Squirrel.
Yeah, squirrel. What's cool is I can still do.
Do you have anything that you want to add with boundaries and mental health and communication? Nick?
Yes, I want to give a shout out real quick to fsbinc.org. He was on the show last week. Amazing guy. You guys don't know who he is, check him out on TikTok. Also check his website out. I'm pretty sure it gives links to everywhere out there.
He was on last week's episode.
Be on here? Yes, this was a calling for you to be on here last night because it's something that I believe you could help. It could help you, sis. Anyways, yeah, he was on last week's episode. I will say this. I didn't do him justice last week. There was a video on his website that I actually got to finish watching, and I urge you guys to go to that website, watch that video, because I'm telling you, it is really a good video. It explains more about them and everything like that. And this setup that I've got going on right here is going to make me lose my mind. Seeing myself move on a camera, really weird. But one of the things that I will say as far as his goals go, and I've noticed how he's done it at this FSB, is he took something that he went through and turned it into something that could help others. And that I think is beautiful. Just like Two Vets do with Two Vets Canine, I think is a beautiful thing. Now, what are your thoughts on how much your goal in life and your partner's goal in life have to align for it to work?
Oh, well, that's where I can chime in.
Align, not in my opinion, not necessarily. I don't think they have to align directly. I think the support has to be there. You have to be supportive of each other. I mean, there's no way. There's possibilities of finding someone that your goals align directly, but the fact that one, you have to be supportive of each other, but you also have to be understanding that, hey, I have kids like me. I have kids. My goals are to be, to actually make this business that I'm trying to start, being a certified personal trainer and a mindset coach. My goals are to actually be able to get the outreach I need. I've actually started messing with the Discord again to see if I can actually get it set up to where I can use the Discord for outreach, so people can get help with their goals. Do I expect to find someone that's like super into fitness? No, I don't expect that. The likelihood of that's probably very slim, especially in this day and age. But you have to be supportive. Like, you have to know
the same people. You're two totally separate people. You're 100% by yourself. You are 100%. That other person is bringing the other 100%. So that's 200%. And no, it's not expected for you to fill that person to 100%. They've already got their 100%. You're two totally different people.
I like what Sam says there. Supportive, respecting boundaries, and having some empathy. I agree.
Absolutely.
But this question right here is what we're trying to answer, guys. And like I said, you should support one another. You should try to not just support, but be each other's shoulder. I had a bad day at the gym today. This guy just wouldn't listen. I don't get it. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Because having someone that is actually truly supporting you, they're going to look from a different perspective than you. And that's why it's so beautiful to have someone that it does not necessarily align with your goals or work with what you're doing.
Well, look at yourself, Nick. You have 2 vets in your corners. You have No Cut Cards. Those are people that you actually go to for advice, saying, hey, I had this issue. What do you guys think? So having that support system with you, they don't have the same mindset you do.
So I quit going to 2 vets for advice because 2 vets is a people pleaser. I've said it many times, haven't I? 2 vets. I'm getting ready to get my ass kicked by 2 vets.
Duly noted.
Awesome.
Anyway, no, the fact of the matter is, okay, like there comes a point in, like, with me in my life, I had to figure out whether or not I was just tired of the bullshit, tired of the fucking, tired of being a people pleaser. Let's be honest. I had to decide. What do I want out of life? Do I want to keep pleasing everyone, or do I actually want to go for my goals? Well, I finally said, fuck it. I'm going for my goals because what I'm doing, I don't see anyone else doing. I don't see anyone else out there busting their ass, spending all night at work and then all day working with their kids. And then what little bit of time you get in between, getting your certification to be a personal trainer, getting your certification to be a nutritionist, getting your certification on being an online coach. I don't see people doing that and having 5 kids and working a full-time job. I mean, I'm not taking an easy road. By no means am I taking an easy road. No means am I making an excuse because I think everyone can do it. I'm just saying, when the odds are stacked against you, what do you do?
Be the change you want to see.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Sorry. I'm a believer in that. In other words, you make the odds stack in your favor instead of against you. This is my house, so it's my odds now. I'm done fucking around with people. They don't like what I do. That's fine. You don't have to be a part of it. You don't like what I say. That's fine. You don't have to listen. You can walk away. That's the beautiful thing about America is you can walk the fuck away. You don't have to listen to me. You don't have to, agree with what I say. By God, I will say this. I've been through a lot of shit in my life. Not as much as some. Haven't had as hard as others. But I've been through a lot of shit in my life, and I can stand up and say I'm proud of the fucking person I am, because the person I am, I built my fucking self. Because 1, I started understanding what my goals were. I started understanding where my fucking boundaries need to be met. And I decided I was done being walked on. I was done scraping the bottom of the barrel to try to get by. And I said, fuck it. These are my boundaries. If you don't like them, I don't have to say anything to you. You'll know. You'll know when you overstep my boundaries because you won't exist. I have friends that I've known for 20 to 30, not 30, but yeah, 30 years because I'm 39. And friends I've known for 20 to 30 years that I don't even talk to now. That literally, they can reach out to me. I'll be respectful. That's about it. But it's not someone I'd go hang out with because they don't align with. They just. I know what kind of people they are. I don't have time for it. So if you're going to be negative, and this is my closing statement for the night, as it is almost 10 o'clock. If you're going to be negative about your life, I don't want to hear it. I want to see you change it. If you want change, then do it, because there's no one on this fucking planet that's going to do it for you. You have to put in the work. You have to decide you're tired of the bullshit and you don't want to deal with it anymore and put in the fucking work. That's the only way change happens. Now, some, I get it. Some, I get it. They kind of are stuck in a situation that they didn't ask for, they didn't want. But I will say this, and I'm sorry, Mohawk, if I'm overstepping. Mohawk has been put through the fucking ringer. But guess what? He's making the best of a fucked up situation he's in. He's turning a passion he has into art. Like I've seen his videos, skiing, snowboarding. I think it's just skiing. I don't think I've seen him snowboard. But he's turning this passion he has into an art form. He's making the best of a bad situation. And that is where you see the winners. That is the fucking winners right there. It's the ones that can take a shitty fucking situation, one that's meant to literally tear them down and tear them up and spit them out and make it into something great.
Beauty and chaos.
Thank you.
So before I jump into my outro, I'm gonna have you, Cassie, if you have anything to say. Then
Well, I really enjoyed being on the show with you guys. I appreciate the conversation, the understanding, the mutual respect. And I think you guys are amazing. And I can't wait to see you guys next weekend.
I believe in this right here.
Absolutely.
So there's an old saying, and I'm going to say this: showing up is 90% of the work. Showing up is 90% of the work. The rest of the other 10% is attitude.
Absolutely.
Right there.
What I will say is we have had an amazing show this evening. We definitely got off topic. We started on the topic, then we readjusted. Adjust fire. So
don't ever say it again.
Pineapple.
Adjust for fire.
Adjust.
I see red to the rear.
But the topics that we talked about were phenomenal. Having those boundaries. But also in thinking about the process of this conversation, there are two things that come to mind. One is the discipline. What is it? What type of discipline are you willing to have, and what are you willing to do in order to be successful? Are you willing to do what it takes? Are you willing to go above and beyond to do what you're setting out to do? And then the last portion.
I love that.
What?
Faith is not wanting to know the truth. I can't pronounce that name, so I ain't even going to try.
That's awesome. But the last thing that I want to leave you with, and it's been laid on my heart to say this, and I don't know why. What type of legacy are you wanting to leave?
Legendary.
Look,
chaotic.
I don't want you to answer. I don't. The only.
I answered. You're dealing with
it. The only person I want you to answer is within yourself. Are you gonna have the two questions that I'll leave you with tonight? Are you willing to have the discipline to do what you set out to do? What are you gonna do to get that accomplished? And secondly, what type of legacy do you want to leave? Because
Facts.
here's no secret. We're not going to be here, forever, and we are going to leave a legacy behind. What kind are you going to, leave? And with that being said, I will close out like normal. We enjoyed seeing you today.
Hold on 1 second. Y'all, I do want to say something with all that said. I'm gonna say this. Next week, I hope you guys tune in because we are going to actually be talking about our legacies. The topic for next week is going to be about your legacy and what you hope to, the imprint you hope to put on the world. Whether good or bad, it doesn't matter. I really don't care. That's up to you, not me. But also, with the legacy, the discipline it takes to become legendary in others' eyes. Go ahead, Two Bets, close out.
As Desert always says. With that being said, we enjoyed seeing you today. Don't forget to be awesome and know you're loved. Until next time.
Abracadabra.